So in today's video, what I wanted to do was I wanted to talk a little bit around the weight loss injections, Wegovy Mounjaro. And I'd like to start by saying that I am far from anti-weight loss injection. I think they're a really useful tool. I see the impact that they're having on lots of people from a weight perspective, and we're seeing lots of benefits for things like pain, chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia. And so I do think that they have a role to play. My concern for some people is the sort of the expectation that they must get to the highest dose, that's a target to achieve, when actually what we really need is a dose that will enable you to not overeat, enable your body to function a little bit better, support those weight loss pathways that the injections support, without completely suppressing your appetite and without creating a disastrous impact on your digestive system. And one of the things that I do is I talk quite a lot to medical professionals, nutritional professionals, about the impact of weight loss injections on the body and how the body functions. So over the coming weeks, I'll be talking a little bit more about different topics and giving you some general guidance and some ideas of things that you can do to protect your body, enable it to still function whilst on your weight loss journey. So as I've said in previous videos, the side effects of any medication is always dose dependent. So the more of something you take, the greater the impact it has, the worse the side effects, or the more side effects that you experience. And Wegovy Mounjaro is no different from other medications in that is also the case. So if we think about the digestive symptoms, you'll often find that when you go on it to start with, or when you increase your dose, that your digestive system symptoms will be quite severe. And sometimes after a few weeks, those will calm down, but some of them can remain. So what I wanted to do in this video is talk about how weight loss injections actually work on the digestive system and why those symptoms appear. So we know that the main reason that people are using them for diabetes and weight loss is because of their impact on blood glucose regulation. So weight loss injections increase the production of the hormone insulin, which helps to get glucose out of the bloodstream and into the cells. But it also reduces the production of a hormone called glucagon, which stimulates the liver to make more glucose when we run out. So by doing that, it's helping to keep blood sugar under control, and it's also helping with metabolic regulation and breakdown of fat cells to mobilize what we've got stored. But what they also do is they have wide impacts on the digestive process. So they delay gastric emptying, which means that food stays in the stomach for longer. And that obviously means that we have less appetite, because if our stomach's full, we don't want to eat anymore. And it partly does that by restricting the contraction of the gallbladder. So our gallbladder sits just below the liver, and it is responsible for the storage and secretion of bile. So bile is something that the body needs to enable us to absorb our fats. It's really regulating the fat digestion process, amongst other things. And by preventing the movement of bile, that holds the contents of the stomach in there for longer. In doing so, that can cause issues for the gallbladder, and I'll be covering that in a different video because that's a whole subject all on its own. I'll be covering that alongside the reflux side of things. But they also reduce the production of pancreatic enzymes or digestive enzymes, and we need those enzymes to enable us to break down our food. So that means that also food stays in the bowels for longer, and that can be where some of the diarrhea, constipation, IBS, stomach type symptoms come from. And of course, if food's just not moving through, then that will leave you feeling quite heavy, quite sluggish, suffering from constipation, diarrhea. We know that when food stays in the digestive system longer than it should, that we have an increased risk of small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, or SIBO, and I have covered SIBO in a previous video if you want to know more about that. But one of the key areas that's also affected is that it reduces the appetite receptor sensitivity within the brain, which also means that we end up potentially being dehydrated. And of course, when we're dehydrated, that impacts our bowels. We end up with not enough fluid to support bowel movements, so that can lead to greater levels of constipation. But dehydration can also impact the digestive process as a whole, so it can impact the bile production, and it can also impact hydrochloric acid production, which is important for our digestion. So if you're taking weight loss injections and you're experiencing digestive issues, if you've got, a lot of discomfort, if you're feeling really sluggish, working on your hydration is my first piece of advice to you. So make sure that you are drinking plenty of water throughout the day. You're possibly not going to feel thirsty, so it's really important to make sure that you set an alarm or have one of these big bottles that's graded with the amount of water that you've drunk, so that you can actually take more awareness of your need for hydration. But it's also really important that you help your body to digest the food really well as well. So when you are eating food, do make sure that you're eating in a nice, calm environment, that you're in a relaxed state. So try not to be scrolling on social media, try not to be eating at your desk, but also make time to chew your food properly. The mouth is a really important part of the digestive process. The more you chew your food and break it down, the much easier it is for your digestive system to cope. So this isn't going to undermine the way in which your weight loss injection works. It's not going to make it more likely that you're going to overeat. But what it is going to do is it's going to give your digestive system the helping hand that it needs. So by breaking your food down, by chewing really well, it does mean that we need less effort from the digestive system to break that food down. So taking your time to chew and really being aware of what you're doing can be really useful. And that's actually a really good tool for moderating your food intake generally. So if and when you come off your weight loss injections, actually eating more slowly and chewing your food more thoroughly can actually help you to realize when you're getting full. So it can prevent you from overeating. So that can be really, really important. And a lot of people talk about getting sulfur burps when they're taking weight loss injections. And the reason for that is holding food in the stomach longer increases the production of hydrogen sulfide gas, which is that rotten egg smell that people often complain about. And of course, if we're supporting our digestive system and we're chewing our food better, then we can reduce how long food is fermenting in the digestive system and in the stomach, and we can reduce some of that sulfur burps. So if you can really focus on hydration and chewing, that can make a real impact on your digestive process. I'm going to do another video looking at the impact on reflux and the gallbladder, because I think that's a much bigger subject. So if you are having issues with your gallbladder, if you want to know more about how to look after your gallbladder while using weight loss injections, and if you're having issues with reflux, then please do make sure you check out that video, because you'll find some useful tips in there that will help you to manage that. If you have enjoyed this video, please do make sure to like and subscribe, so that you get notified when I put more videos out there. If you have any questions for me, please pop them in the comments and I'll pick them up when I can. And if there's any subjects that you'd like me to cover that are medication, nutrition, lifestyle related, then feel free to pop those in the comments too, and I'll cover those in future videos. Bye for now.